What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Thoughts and Divine Wisdom, starring me. Okay. Today, I would like to talk about something. That I spoke about in previous videos, and today I want to talk about the fruits of the Spirit. Okay. Now, the fruits of the Spirit, as you heard in previous videos, is what it is. It's love, happiness, peace, joy, steadfastness, kindness, gentleness. Okay. When most people look for these things, they go about a standpoint of going through certain things in their life and going through a standpoint of eventually saying to themselves, I want love, I just want to be happy, I just want to be, I just want peace, and so forth. well, when it comes to these things, these are good things to want. But at the same time, and everything, where people fall short at is they fall short because they turn to the world to look for these things, only in the end to not find any solution to any of those things. And what people don't realize is the fruits of the Spirit of the world is basically the things that I mentioned, but the principles between the fruits of the Spirit of the world and fruits of the Spirit of within, the principles of the self and the world are different. The fruits of the Spirit of the world, love, happiness, peace, joy, steadfastness, so forth. When you find those things in the world, they're only temporary. They're not possessive. They're not possessive in the standpoint of you holding on to them, and they stay there, and you continuously, bring joy to yourself from the world. They're not possessive. The fruits of the Spirit of the world is like floating clouds. You can only appreciate it as it passes by. Then when it leaves, you accept it leaving and you move on. That's the difference between the world and the internal. The internal fruits of the Spirit is everlasting. The internal fruits of the Spirit are ongoing and they never end. And when you find these things internally, the difference is when you find them, they are ongoing and they never fade. The only way that these things fade internally is if you trick yourself in believing, oh, it's gone, it's not there anymore. And what most people do is they take the fruits of the Spirit of the world and intertwine it with the fruits of the Spirit within, thinking, oh, they find something out here externally and they're like, oh, it's gone. When truthfully, they don't distinguish the two. Okay? So, everlasting, the fruits of the Spirit is everlasting. Okay? When it comes to the fruits of the Spirit of within, this is the thing that most people try to find. They want that true happiness, that true love, that true peace, that true joy, that true steadfastness. They want these things. But the problem is In order to find these things up within, you have to take the steps of looking within oneself in order to find these things. Okay? And one of the things that people do is they try to what happens is, and this is what messes a lot of people up, is they don't take the proper steps in order to get to the fruits of the Spirit from within. They'll try to skip over steps and try to find the fruits of the Spirit of within, but because they skipped over steps, they're going to still run into problems of within that's going to make everything feel like a wave. Everything feels like a wave. Why? It's because they missed those steps. Those 2 steps that I've talked about in previous videos. One, the first step is finding or understanding the identity. And understanding that the identity is a delusion. And once you accept that within the heart and truly understand that, then you move to the next step. The next step is looking at the self. Looking within. Looking at your life. And everything that comes up into intuition, look at those things, accept those things, and either acknowledge it. One must acknowledge it. One must accept it. One must heal it. Or what that means is, what I mean by healing means you need to apologize to yourself, or apologize for the situation that happened to you. And I'm not talking about just skimming past, yeah, I apologize. No, I'm talking about truly apologizing about each and every situation that one has gone through in order to heal. And this is the proper way. This is the proper way of healing. This is the proper way. This is the proper way of healing. Looking within, taking all the walks of your life, looking at it from within, truly sitting down with it, and looking within and forgiving certain situations that you did, or, let me rephrase it, forgiving situations that other people did to you, and forgiving situations that you may have did to other people. And like I said before in previous videos, that may take some time. But we're going to marginalize that situation right quick. And we're going to say, hypothetically, boom, you've passed your situation. You took the time to reflect and look at yourself, acknowledge, reflect, apologize, heal certain things within. Took that time and everything. Okay, so we're going to pass that. So once that step is done, that's step 2. Next step, then you can look into the fruits of the Spirit. And once you understand and once you look into the fruits of the Spirit, the lesson that you're going to learn is it's a lifelong journey to understand or to accept the fruits of the Spirit as well. Now, let me try to give an example to some who may not understand. What I mean by it takes a lifelong experiences to obtain the fruits of the Spirit from within. Think back to when you were a kid. Okay, I'm going to give this example this way. Think back to when you were a kid. When you were a kid and you were in maybe first grade, there were kids in class and everything that was playing around or you associated with, and one decided to call you a poo-poo head or a doo-doo head. And when you were called that shocked you. You were like, I can't believe he called me that. And you went home and told your parents what was said to you because you couldn't believe somebody said that to you and the whole nine, right? At that age, you were trying to comprehend why somebody would say that to you. Fast forward to now, if someone called you that today, you would probably excuse them like, okay. That's what it means to grow in the fruits of the Spirit. In order to obtain the fruits of the Spirit, one must overstand the world in order to obtain the fruits of the Spirit. One must overstand the world in order to obtain the fruits of the Spirit. And this is why when we see our elders or older folks, we're kind of baffled when we see them deal with stuff. It's like they really don't care. Oh, you're missing, excuse me, miss, you got to pay this bill. We shutting off your license. And they're like, so, okay. But to us, at younger ages, when we hear that, we become worried. We become frantically worried. Oh, how I'm going to pay this bill? How I'm going to pay this bill? But to them, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them. And then if you look at the deeper meaning of that, one has to ask themselves the question, how did they get that way? How did they get to where they don't really care? Like, literally don't care. It's because they've learned to overstand the world and life, and they now have the fruits of the Spirit. So they now realize that the things that used to worry them don't worry them anymore, and it doesn't bother them. And also, the elder folks understand that faith in the higher divine conscience or the divine spirit, their faith is stronger because they've been through the life situations to where they know somehow, some way, they don't know how it's going to happen, but they know through faith, like Abraham stepped out on blind faith, they know that this thing is going to get paid somehow. And 9.5 times out of 10, it happens. So they have become strong in faith to where they don't worry about the small things. They don't worry about, oh, how I'm going to pay my rent, how I'm going to pay this, how I'm going to pay that. Because their faith is strong enough, or their faith is strong to the point where they don't worry about those things, literally, because they have the fruits of the Spirit of within. They have love, happiness, peace, joy, kindness, steadfastness. And to them, it does not matter. So, the fruits of the Spirit from within is the thing that everybody should be trying to obtain. And until the world realizes, or until the people realize that the world can't give them the thing that they seek, Until they realize that, only then will they break the cycle of the world and start finding the trueness of the self. And that's it. The trueness of the self has to be found. Until then, because I understand too, younger people, they're trying to understand the life, so they're going out into the world trying to figure it out. But as you become older and wiser throughout your time, you start realizing the world don't offer anything. And this is why, in certain instances, you run into people who are depressed, people who are frustrated and depressed, and every time you talk to them, they have such low frequency and negative energy coming. Or people are, thinking about self-deletion and stuff like that. It's because the answers that they were seeking in the world, the answers that they thought they were going to find in the world, wasn't there. So they become bitter and they start hating life, and they start doing things in spite, hurt people, hurt everyone. Well, I'm here to tell everyone who is in that category that there is a way. There is a way to gain the thing that you seek. And no, it doesn't come from you just going to church and singing gospel music in church, and no, that's not it. That's not it. The answers that you seek, the answers that you are trying to find, is all within. All the answers that you've been trying to seek in this life is all within. And if you are willing to take this journey, like I am taking this journey, you will find so much clarity in the life. You will find the fruits of the Spirit. You will find love, happiness, peace, joy. You will find healing. You will eventually break the shackles of society off of you. You will break the society notions of what you should be off of you. You will break all of those things. When you free yourself of this life, when you free yourself of this world, then you will be able to find the true joy that you are seeking, and the peace that you've been seeking, and the love that you've been seeking. That's the answer. So I say to you guys, God be with you guys. If you want to use that, I feel like if you want to use God, you can use God while you're talking, or if you want to say source, or higher divine conscience, or divine spirit, whatever you feel that you need to express, you can express it. There is no right or wrong in this equation. You can do the things that you want to do. You just gotta start the journey. And I promise you, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, it may be rough at first and you're trying to figure these things out, but once you start the journey, it's going to feel a little rough. But once you clear the passage and the storm starts dying down and you see what's in store in front of you, I promise you, you will find the peace that you're looking for. You will find the happiness that you're looking for. Certain things won't matter to you anymore. They won't. Certain things won't matter to you anymore. And you will find that happiness that you've been wanting to look for. Okay, so, but anyways, I think that sums up the video. But like I said, if you have any questions or anything like that, or if you would like to express a problem, maybe I can help you find a solution. Please don't hesitate to send an email at thoughts and written out thoughts and divine wisdom at gmail.com. Okay, I say it again, thoughts and divine wisdom at gmail.com. And like I've said before, I'll read them. If you don't want your name to be read or anything like that, just put it at the end of the message, and please don't say my name. I won't do that. I'll just leave the problem general, and I'll talk about it. Okay? But on the flip side of things, man, keep striving, keep trying to understand, and it'll all make sense in the end. Believe me when I say that. It'll all make sense in the end. God bless you guys, and I look forward to hearing from you guys on the email side of things. Okay? Till then, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.